welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the heart. So today's reading is for your Law of Attraction 2015 year ahead tarot card reading, and this is for the zodiac sign of Pisces. So Pisces, for any of you guys who are not quite sure about what the Law of Attraction is, I'm sure that most of you guys that have come to this reading know what it is. I'll just sum it up for you in a few succinct words. The Law of Attraction is basically a concept that's based on the fact that we as human beings attract situations into our lives. So everything that you're feeling, everything that you're seeing, the situations around you, the environment that you're in, the people that you attract into your life, whether you're happy or not, these are all things that us as human beings attract into our world. So the way that we attract stuff essentially through the Law of Attraction philosophy is by the way that we think, by the way that we feel, and by the way that we act. So essentially it's more to do with our thoughts and our feelings. We think the thought, and then the feelings are a derivative of that, and the feelings go out into the universe. They're vibrations essentially, and they sort of mirror. The universe comes back to us, throws back situations at us that essentially mirror how we're feeling. So really our situation is a manifestation of how we feel. Now there are two types of people that attract. The first being deliberate creators, the second being creators that create their world by default. This is all about creating your reality. And the first set, deliberate creators, are people who essentially are aware of their vibrations. We're all aware of the way that we feel. But these are people who are aware of the way that they feel. So if one day you're feeling pretty negative about something, as a deliberate creator you would work towards turning those feelings around in order to make sure that you're kind of vibrationally aligned to the things that you want. So for example, as a deliberate creator for myself, I certainly know that there's been through times where I've thought very negative thoughts, but when I've actually thought about it and thought this isn't serving me at all, and all it's going to do is just sort of expand the situation. So then I try and turn my thoughts around. I try and guide them into a more positive vibe, and I find that doing that, it does attract in more positive experiences for me. Someone who would attract a situation by default is someone who is obviously aware of the way that they're thinking and feeling, but they're not aware essentially of the Law of Attraction, and that their feelings are actually attracting in their circumstances. So they'll go about their life, and if they're a fairly negative thinker, they'll go about their life potentially thinking a lot of negative thoughts, and essentially their world is created very much by the way that they think and the way that they feel. But they'll just continue along that road because that's essentially all they know. And the Law of Attraction is very heavily based also on the fact that, on the concept that what you focus on expands. So if you focus on very negative things, for example, you might not have much money, and you might continuously focus on the lack of money and the lack of having those types of resources. And essentially what that then does is it just creates more lack. So the way that you think, if you feel fairly negative around money situations, if you're quite jealous of people with money, if you are consistently thinking that your life is a financial struggle, then essentially a lot of the time this is what you continuously attract into your life, is lack and struggle. And even if you do have money, you can still feel those feelings. You can still feel, well, I've got this money, but I don't want to let go of it because I'm fearing losing it. Do you see where I'm coming from? So you can feel these feelings about money, whether you've got money or not. But essentially, if you do feel lack, then that's what you'll manifest. That can be lack financially, it can be lack emotionally, it can be lack mentally. If you come from a lack mentality, then essentially you attract lack into your life in whichever sphere that might take. Whereas if you see the cup, the glass as being half full rather than half empty, then you will attract more positive situations into your life. So that's essentially in a nutshell what the Law of Attraction is. I mean, there's a lot more that goes into it, but you can find out a lot of stuff on YouTube through people called Abraham Hicks, and you can also Google it. There's a man called Dr. Wayne Dyer, who is just an amazing speaker. He knows, he speaks a lot about love and the Law of Attraction and coming from our truth, living in our truth and all of that good stuff. Oprah Winfrey's another amazing you know, I don't know what we would call them really. I suppose they're called gurus. But she's another amazing guru who's spoken a lot about this. So if you want to know more about it, just check it out on Google. There are books on it. There's a lot of YouTube videos on it. It's an amazing concept, and it's one that I very much live my life by. I decided to do these readings, Pisces, for two reasons. The first one is for those people that don't know much about the law of attraction, but are finding that they're consistently attracting in situations that kind of represent struggle to them. And that if any of these cards might resonate with anyone who feels that, then potentially there'll be some guidance in the cards for 2015 that'll show you how to potentially start to change your life around. And if you are a deliberate creator, someone who creates their life knowingly, and who tries to tread the path of positivity rather than negativity, and tries to put those feelings into action, then essentially if things come up in the cards that resonate with you, you'll know that you're on the right track. So to begin, I would shuffle the cards as usual off screen. What I will then do is I will consecutively pick 4 cards. The first card will represent what potentially you could be attracting in between January and March. The second card will represent from April to June. The third card, July through to September. And the fourth card will be October to December. So this is really the universe speaking to you on potentially what you could attract in and how you potentially should go about either changing it or being much more of a vibrational match to your desires. So let's make a start, Pisces. For January and March, the universe guided me to pick the Six of Pentacles, and this card is known as anxiety within the Law of Attraction pack deck of cards, and it really talks about economic concerns. So essentially between January and March, the universe is saying that some of you guys could be attracting in economic concerns, crisis, fickle fortune, and you'll need more time to see your dream become a reality. So if any of you guys have got dreams but there's a little bit of a halt to those dreams through maybe lack of funds, or you know, maybe you've got some economic concerns for some of you guys, it does say that you may need more time to see your dream become a reality. So you may need more time for that manifestation to happen with a dream. However, have faith, because the Six of Pentacles within the general tarot is all about giving, okay? So it may be that somebody comes along to give you some assistance with that. However this turns out, and it's not bad at all, it's just life, and everybody goes through ups and downs in their life, so it's nothing for you to worry about. But really this is saying that yeah, there might be a little bit more time that is needed for your dream to actually manifest due to maybe some economic concerns within your life, but you need to keep positive about it. As I've said before, we attract what is most likened to us. What we focus on simply expands in our lives. So if there are any, if you do happen to attract any economic concerns, even going on from now into January, then just know that these are temporary situations and that they will change over a period of time. But a lot of that change is actually down to your own thought patterns and how you view life and how you want to change your life. So if you try to think positively, even in a difficult situation, you will start attracting in more positive and more favourable circumstances. Between April and June, the universe guided me to pick the Moon card, okay, and basically this is called, I think, negative convictions. This isn't a negative reading, by the way, okay? It's really simply the universe trying to give you some advice on how to deal with situations that you might attract within 2015. And the universe is saying, don't stop at what impedes you from realising your dream, but think big, because human potential is much greater than you actually think. So when we look at these cards together, we have the Six of Pentacles, which talks about potential economic concerns that some of you guys could be attracting between January and March. And this card is really saying, don't let these economic concerns impede you, okay? Because human potential is a lot bigger than what you think. You have the potential to have your dream become a reality, but if you let situations or potential difficulties impede your dream, so stop you from trying to realise that dream, then you won't realise it. What you need to do is you need to kind of stay focused, stay motivated, and think big most of all. You know, a lot of the time in my life I've had a lot of dreams and I've not had a bean or any money at all to try and realise them. And then I've realised when I started thinking bigger, oh, I have all of those things there that I could actually sell. You know, I'll give you a little story. I set up a business called I Love Cocos, which I'll be resetting up again this year. And I had bought, when I was doing this channel as a makeup channel, I bought about 10 Ben Nye powders. Lots of different powders that I hadn't used at all. Hadn't used anything at all, any of these products. They were just sitting in a drawer somewhere. I had a lot of products that just were bought but were never used. And when I was trying to set the business up, I was thinking, how am I going to get this business off the ground? I don't have any money to invest in buying from suppliers. I don't have anything at all. And I really found that there was a bump in the road, and for ages I was thinking negatively about the situation. I was thinking, how am I going to get this off the ground? I literally don't have, you know, I've been let down by various people who told me that they'd give me the funds to get the business started. I'm working my fingers to the bone. I've got this bill and that bill going out, and I have very little money to spare on the business, so how am I going to get this going? And then one day I'm sitting at my computer working away, and I happen to go onto eBay, and I'm seeing that people are selling samples of these Ben Nye powders at like £3 a pop, something like that. I think in for example, dollars, it would be something like $5 for 3 grams of powder. And suddenly a light bulb went on, and I thought, oh my God, I've got all of these unopened powders. What about if I broke these powders up? I think it was 75 grams or 80 grams of powder within a big tub. And I thought, well, what about if I broke up these powders into 3 gram sachets and sold them on eBay like everybody else is doing? And I really turned it into a good business. And to set that business up, it cost me £10 in the end, because all I needed was a set of scales, which I got from the market. I needed some sachet bags, which would cost me £1, and I needed some labels, and I needed envelopes and stamps. And I think it might have cost me something like £10 or £15, maybe £20 at the most, to get the business set up. So all I started doing was using all of these unopened powders, and there were 80 grams per tub that I had, and measuring these powders out and putting them into sachet, advertising them on eBay, and within, I think it was something like 3 months, I'd made £2,500 from that business, just selling them as samples. All these unopened powders, breaking up the powders and selling them as 3 gram sachets. And I'd made £2,500, I think it was, which is something like, I don't know what it is, that is in dollars, maybe what, $4,000, something like that, within 3 months of selling 3 gram powders. So all I'm saying is, and I'm just giving you an example, what I'm saying is that though there may be in January some form of financial concerns with some of you guys that you might have attracted in, it could be through negative thinking in 2014, it could be for any reason, but this card is saying don't let it impede you, okay? Don't let that impede your you from realising your dream. You've got to think big, because that's what I did. I just thought, how can I do this? And suddenly I just started looking around on the internet, happened upon eBay, and suddenly I was seeing people selling samples, and I had all of their tools there, but I didn't realise it at the time when I was worrying about money and worrying about how I would get the business set up. So I, you know, think big, because your potential is bigger than you know. My potential was bigger than I knew. It cost me £20 in the end to get that business set up. This is a true story. So think big, because human potential is bigger than you know. And between July and September 2015, the universe is saying that you could be attracting in love. We've got the Two of Cups here. So it talks about artistic affinity, selfless friendship, romance. Your dream can come true only if you can make a decision in keeping with the circumstances. And it's so funny how this card has come up, because that's what I did. I started to make decisions within my circumstances. I started to get absolutely real about it, think big, and then suddenly the universe just manifested the idea. I looked in my drawer and there were all of these products that I could sell that hadn't been opened, that were completely sanitised and okay for consumers to use, and all it did was it cost me 20 quid to get it up, to get it set up. So this card is really saying that it's twofold really. That number one, some of you guys could be attracting in selfless friendships, so help from people, romance, and more to the point, it's saying that your dream can become a reality. Okay, but if you make a decision in keeping with the circumstances, so it could be for some of you guys that whatever it is that has been impeding some of you guys in 2015 from getting a dream going could be right underneath your nose. Okay, it's about making decisions. It's about looking at your circumstances and saying, okay, I'm going to do that. This is what I'm going to do to achieve this goal. Okay, so it's about getting real about it, but at the same time thinking bigger about it and thinking, no, there's got to be a way that I can do this, and making decisions in keeping with the circumstances, because that's what I did back in 2013. I made a decision. I looked at what I had and said, how can I make this work with what I've got? When I finally started to see the light, I said, how can I make a decision with what I actually have? And that led to me making a lot of money over a 3-month period just selling samples. And the final card from the universe is the Ace of Swords, and this card is known as the Spirit of Initiative. Brilliant. It says, affirmation, victorious struggle, wealth, fame, the realization of your dream will bring you success in love and finances. So we see the end of the year, the universe is saying, you're victorious. For some of the year, the universe is saying it may be a struggle for some of the year. It's not going to be a huge struggle, but there may be some economic concerns. But you need to get over that, and you need to start thinking positively about it, even in a situation where you might be feeling, I don't have much money to do this, or I want to do something, I want to get something off the ground, but I don't know how to. You need to start thinking bigger. You need to start thinking about the potential of the idea of what it is that whatever it is that you want to manifest. And then when you start thinking bigger and you start thinking about the potential of it, and you start thinking about your potential being bigger than what it is that you're living, that's when things will start to manifest, and ways and means to get something off the ground will start to manifest for you. And then we see with the Two of Cups here that your dream can be a reality, but you need to be starting to think, how can I do that? If you're in a certain circumstance, how can I make this a reality for myself? And you need to start thinking, how can I actually get this off the ground in my circumstances? So again, it's positive thinking. It's thinking about the cup being half filled rather than half empty. And then the end of the year, victorious struggle. So yeah, there might have been partly through the year a little bit of struggle going on with getting something off the ground, but you're going to achieve it, because once you start to think about the different ways and means that you can actually, the different routes and paths that you can take to make a dream a reality, that's when you become the victor. Victorious struggle. So for some of you guys, you could be attracting in a lot of wealth, fame. The realisation of your dream will bring you success in love and finances. So success in love with the Two of Cups. Success in finances. The Swords suit is always about some form of struggle going on, but victory through that struggle. And the universe is saying that you will be successful. A lot of you guys are going to attract in success. But your success is dependent on following the steps with these other cards. If there is some form of struggle financially next year with getting a dream off the ground, then you need to not let it impede you. And you still need to start thinking, how can it, if some of you guys are attracting in this situation, you need to say to yourself, well, how can I get this off the ground? Even if I haven't got much money to get it off the ground, there's got to be a way that I can do this. Because through doing that, you will actually be able to start thinking about ways. Your brain will open up. There'll be a lot more clarity for you. So the universe is saying here, you're going to be attracting in a lot of clarity. And any struggles, if there are any struggles for you guys in terms of finances during next year, when you're trying to attract in your dream and get that moving, then you need to look at other ways of getting stuff moving, like I did. And through that, you will actually achieve a lot of success. So maybe some of you want to be singers, musicians, there's going to be fame, actors, who knows. But you will have fame, according to this, and what you could have definitely attracting is a lot of wealth, fame, and affirmation. And as it says, the realisation of your dream will bring you success in love and money. So there's success here for you guys. But success comes when we can get over those struggles and we can still maintain a positive outlook even if things aren't going our way. this is a really good reading. Everybody has ups and downs in their life. It's just human nature. It is just human nature. But what I see here on these cards, and what I'm seeing here, what the universe is speaking to you and saying, is that for some of you guys during 2015, you may be having some struggles financially. And that's to do with, maybe it's a case of that you're working and you're paying the bills and you're doing this and you're doing that, and there's not much manoeuvre for getting that dream off the ground, whatever that dream is. But you need to have faith. That's what these cards are saying to me. The universe is saying that you need to trust yourself to know what to do and how to do it. And once you start trusting yourself, that's when your heart's desires will manifest. And that's when you'll actually get some really good stuff coming in. You're going to be manifesting wealth, love, and the realisation of your dream. But you need to kind of know that life, it's very easy to feel really happy when life is going exactly how we want it to. And it's very easy to feel really pissed off and mad when it's not. But next year, it looks to me the universe is saying that things are going to be going really well for you. There may be some bumps in the road, but you get over them. You'll get over them. The struggle becomes a lot less. There's not much of a struggle here. There's some economic difficulties potentially to a dream. But if you think positively in that, you will achieve what you want. You will start to manifest your dreams and your heart's desire, and it's going to be wonderful when you do. So guys, that's your Law of Attraction tarot reading for the year 2015. And I will be back with your angel message. So messages from the angels and how they see 2015 going for you guys. So I'll see you on that reading, and take care.